There is a version of life most people know very well. Waiting in airport lines, sitting in traffic, calling customer service, searching for appointments, standing in crowded lobbies, explaining the same problem to three different people, losing hours to things that should have taken minutes. For most people, this is not unusual. It is simply life. But at the highest levels of wealth, something quiet begins to happen. Normal life starts to disappear. Not all at once, not dramatically, not with a flashing sign that says someone has entered another world. It happens through side doors, private rooms, direct numbers, silent staff, priority access, a car already waiting, a doctor already available, a flight arranged around the person instead of the person arranging themselves around the flight. This is where luxury becomes harder to see, because the most powerful luxury is not always the watch, it is not always the car, it is not always the house behind the gates. Sometimes the real luxury is what never happens. No queue, no crowd, no delay, no exposure, no ordinary inconvenience. At a certain level, wealth does not just buy better things. It buys a different relationship with reality. A life where friction is reduced, delegated, softened, or quietly moved onto someone else. And that may be the most hidden status symbol of all, not what the ultra-wealthy have, but what they no longer have to deal with. Most people are trained to recognize luxury by what can be seen. A rare watch, a private villa, a first-class cabin, a tailored coat, a quiet hotel suite, a car door closing softly on a silent street. These things are easy to photograph, easy to admire, easy to misunderstand, because visible luxury is only the surface. At the highest level, luxury becomes less about objects and more about systems. It becomes the world arranged in advance. A table is not requested, it is already held. A journey is not planned, it is coordinated. A problem is not solved by the person experiencing it. It is intercepted before it reaches them. This is the part of wealth that does not always appear on camera. The invisible calendar, the private banker, the family office, the assistant who knows the preference before it is repeated, the driver who arrives before the person steps outside, the concierge who turns a complicated request into a quiet confirmation, the staff member who notices what is missing before anyone asks. To the outside world, it looks effortless, but effortless is often a performance. Behind it, there is coordination. There are calls, emails, schedules, preferences, security details, reservations, backups, and quiet corrections. This is why extreme wealth can appear calm. Not because nothing goes wrong, but because the wrong things are handled before they become visible. For most people, daily life is filled with small negotiations: where to park, how long to wait, who to call, what to prove, which form to fill out, which line to stand in, which system is broken today. But when someone is wealthy enough, those small negotiations begin to move away from them. The world does not become perfect, it becomes managed. And that is where the deeper meaning of luxury begins. Luxury is not only having more, sometimes luxury is being interrupted less. Waiting is one of the most ordinary human experiences. Everyone waits for flights, for doctors, for replies, for approvals, for rooms to be ready, for traffic to move, for someone to pick up the phone. Waiting is so normal that most people barely question it. They build their lives around it. They arrive early. They leave extra time. They expect delays. They carry patience like an invisible fee. But extreme wealth begins to attack waiting from every direction. At the airport, waiting becomes a design problem. Private terminals reduce exposure. Fast-track services shorten the process. Private aviation changes the rhythm of travel completely. The person does not always have to move through the same crowd, the same security line, the same boarding process, the same delays in the same way. The journey becomes less public, less crowded, less dependent on ordinary systems. In healthcare, waiting can also change. For many people, a medical appointment means searching for availability, adjusting work schedules, waiting weeks, sitting in a room and hoping the visit is not rushed. But concierge medicine and private medical services sell a different experience. More direct access, longer appointments, same day or next day availability in some cases. A doctor who can be reached more easily. A system that feels less like fighting for attention and more like being expected. The same pattern appears in travel, hospitality, dining, shopping, education, property, and personal administration. The wealthy person is not always buying the final product. They are buying the removal of delay around the product. The room is prepared, the route is planned, the access is arranged, the appointment is secured, the problem is escalated. The waiting is absorbed somewhere else. This is why time becomes one of the clearest dividing lines in modern luxury. Not because wealthy people have more hours in the day, everyone has the same 24, but extreme wealth can reduce the number of hours lost to friction. And that changes the texture of life. A delayed reply is annoying. A delayed flight is stressful. A delayed appointment can be frightening. A delayed approval can affect work, health, travel, or family. For most people, delay is personal. They feel it in the body, the irritation, the fatigue, the helplessness, the quiet anger of needing something and having no control over when it arrives. But in a frictionless system, delay is treated like a problem to be engineered away. This is one of the quietest privileges of wealth. Not always moving faster, but having fewer moments where life forces you to stop. Public life is where ordinary friction becomes visible. The airport queue, the hospital waiting room, the hotel lobby, the packed restaurant entrance, the crowded elevator, the security line, the traffic outside a venue, the front desk where someone asks for a name, an ID, a booking number, and then asks again. These spaces are normal because most people share them. They are part of the social contract of daily life. You wait your turn, you stand beside strangers, you move through the same system, you accept the same delays, but extreme wealth can make public life optional. Not always completely, not in every situation, but often enough to change what feels normal. Private entrances replace public doors. Private lounges replace crowded waiting areas. Private clubs replace open restaurants. Private suites replace shared spaces. Private security reduces random exposure. Private schools, private clinics, private travel, and private events create a life where fewer moments are uncontrolled. This is not only about comfort, it is also about visibility. The more visible someone becomes, the more privacy becomes valuable. A public space is not neutral when people recognize you, need something from you, watch you, photograph you, judge you, or try to reach you. For ordinary people, privacy may mean closing the door at home. For the ultra-wealthy, privacy can become an entire infrastructure, a different entrance, a different route, a different floor, a different lounge, a different phone number, a different way of being handled. And this is where status becomes quiet, because loud status wants to be seen. But mature status often wants to choose when it is seen. There is power in being able to enter without passing through the crowd. There is power in not being announced. There is power in being expected by people who have already prepared the room. In this world, access is not always dramatic. Sometimes it is silent. A door opens. Someone nods. A name is not spoken loudly. A car is already there. The moment passes quickly. But inside that moment is a hidden rule of modern wealth. The more life can be made private, the less a person has to negotiate with ordinary reality. Public life does not disappear for everyone. It simply becomes something some people can step out of. A frictionless life can look peaceful from the outside, but it is rarely simple because friction does not disappear, it gets transferred. Someone still books the flight, someone still changes the reservation, someone still handles the delay, someone still calls the doctor, someone still manages the house, someone still coordinates the car, someone still checks the room, someone still waits, confirms, cancels, replaces, follows up, and fixes what went wrong. The ultra-wealthy life often appears calm because the chaos has been moved behind the curtain. This is the hidden labor of luxury. Assistants, drivers, household managers, private chefs, security teams, travel planners, medical coordinators, estate staff, nannies, tutors, concierge teams, personal shoppers, lifestyle managers. They form the invisible operating system around the person. And in many ways, they are the reason the life appears smooth. The wealthy person may walk into a hotel room and find everything exactly as preferred. But someone remembered. Someone checked. Someone corrected the detail before arrival. The wealthy person may step into a car and go directly to the next location. But someone tracked the time, the traffic, the entrance, the security, the weather, the backup route. The wealthy person may seem relaxed at dinner, but someone arranged the table, the guest list, the timing, the menu, the dietary restrictions, the privacy request, and the exit. Luxury often sells itself as ease, but ease is not the absence of effort. It is the relocation of effort. This is why the phrase effortless wealth can be misleading. Nothing about it is effortless. It is simply that the effort is distributed across people, systems, and money. And this is the uncomfortable truth behind a life without friction. Someone still feels the friction. It may just not be the person being served. This does not mean the system is automatically cruel. Many of these roles require skill, discretion, intelligence, emotional control, and serious operational discipline. A good assistant can protect time. A good driver can protect calm. A good household manager can protect privacy. A good concierge can turn complexity into simplicity. But the deeper point remains. The smoother a life looks, the more invisible work may be holding it together. At the highest level, wealth does not just buy service, it buys distance from the stress that service absorbs. When inconvenience disappears often enough, the mind adjusts. What once felt like a privilege begins to feel like a baseline. A private entrance becomes normal. Immediate replies become normal. Prepared rooms become normal. Flexible travel becomes normal. Direct access becomes normal. Not waiting becomes normal. This is where wealth changes more than lifestyle. It changes expectation. For most people, frustration is built into the day. They expect delays, they expect compromise, they expect systems to be slow, they expect other people's schedules to matter, they expect life to push back. But when enough friction is removed, pushback becomes unfamiliar. The person may not feel spoiled, they may simply feel that life is operating the way it is supposed to operate. Fast, private, responsive, controlled. And this creates a quiet psychological distance because normal life is not only made of hardship, it is also made of shared inconvenience. Waiting beside strangers, being told no, standing in line, losing time, needing patience, adjusting to systems that do not bend around you. These moments are irritating, but they are also reminders. They remind people that the world does not move only for them. They remind people that everyone has needs. They remind people that ordinary life is crowded, imperfect, delayed, and shared. When those reminders disappear, reality can become curated. Not fake, but filtered. The uncomfortable parts are softened. The delays are hidden. The public spaces are avoided. The difficult conversations are handled by someone else. The person still lives in the world, but not always in the same version of it. This is why extreme comfort can change behavior. Not because comfort is bad, comfort is deeply human. Everyone wants less stress. Everyone wants more time. Everyone wants life to feel easier. But when comfort becomes constant, inconvenience can start to feel like an insult. And that may be one of the hidden costs of wealth. Not that it gives people beautiful things, but that it can slowly train them to expect a world without resistance. A life without friction sounds almost perfect. No unnecessary waiting, no crowded spaces, no repeated explanations, no ordinary delays, no public inconvenience. It is easy to understand the appeal. Most people would remove some friction from their lives if they could. Less stress, more time, better access, more privacy, more control. There is nothing mysterious about wanting life to be easier. But the deeper question is not whether friction is pleasant. It usually is not. The deeper question is what happens when too much of it is removed. Because friction is not only inconvenience, sometimes friction is contact. Contact with public life, contact with strangers, contact with ordinary systems, contact with limits, contact with patience, contact with the small imperfections everyone else is still living through. When normal life is removed, connection can be removed with it. A person may become safer but more isolated, more comfortable but less exposed, more protected but less familiar with the world outside the system built around them. The private corridor is quiet, but the public lobby is where life is happening. The private car is calm, but the crowded street carries the rhythm of the city. The private room is controlled, but the shared room is where people remember they are not alone. This is the paradox of a frictionless life. The same systems that protect a person can also separate them. The same services that create ease can create distance. The same money that removes stress can remove the ordinary moments that keep people grounded. And maybe that is why this form of luxury is so powerful. It does not always announce itself. It does not need a logo. It does not need to sparkle. It simply changes what reaches the person. The noise is filtered, the delay is handled, the crowd is avoided, the problem is intercepted, the stress is redirected, and slowly, normal life becomes something seen through glass. still there, still moving, still affecting everyone else, but no longer fully shared. The future of luxury may not be louder, it may be quieter, less about owning rare things, more about being spared ordinary things, less about showing status, more about removing friction. Because at the highest level, wealth does not only change what someone can buy, it changes what they have to experience. And that may be the most revealing part of all. Not the mansion, not the watch, not the car waiting outside, but the line they never stood in, the delay they never felt, the public room they never entered, the stress that reached someone else first. A life without friction may look effortless, but somewhere the friction still exists. It has simply been moved. If this made you see luxury differently, stay with CurioHush. Here, we follow the quiet systems behind wealth, status, desire, and the hidden rules shaping modern behavior.